Been a long time coming to follow up on this one, but let's talk about the astral plane. Finally. So, on the continuum of things down here, we have the physical plane. A little bit above that, we have the mental plane. And then above that, we have the astral plane. Now, it's not necessarily one being above the other, but it's a good way to illustrate the concept. So, the physical plane is the most physical, it's the most dense. And then we have the mental plane, which is slightly less dense. And then we have the astral plane, which is even less dense. And there's talk that there's even several different layers to the astral plane, each being of a different density as you go further up, let's say. So I got some notes. I'm going to switch over to those. Um, so the astral plane is a plane of non-physical existence. It's a place where all ideas are from, all energy comes from. All physical locations have astral counterparts. That's why when people astral travel, they can go to some other place. There are many other places in the astral plane, some of which you can create as you go, because the astral plane is the place where thoughts instantly become reality because they don't have that physical barrier. They don't have to go through the continuum of astral, mental, physical in order to become something. So let's see. I talked about that point, talked about that point. So astral travel, which I do have a video on, it requires leaving the physical body behind. I myself can do it, but it was just kind of one of those, oh, hey, I'm doing it. Like I didn't have to work at it too hard. Although if I don't regularly practice, I do end up falling asleep when I'm trying to leave my body behind. But I do have a video on astral projection if you guys want to look into that. I'll try to remember to put it in the comments or maybe make one of those video card thingies if I could figure that out. Um, so some schools of thought theorize that we go to the astral plane when we die. Some also theorize that we go to the astral plane when we dream. Um, Working with spirits is easier on the astral plane as it is energetic and non-physical. So what I want you to think about is the idea that spirits, entities, gods, what have you, they are of a different plane of existence. They are at a different level of existence than we are. We primarily exist in this physical plane. They do not. Therefore, the astral plane is arguably their realm that they are from, or it is a very, very good midway point, almost like a train station or like, um, a rest stop in between our place and theirs. And it's a place where they can visit us and we can visit them. Now, on the astral plane, one of the things that you can do is think of it this way. You have a home in the physical plane, right? You can create a home in the astral plane. I've talked in my other videos about how when I go into meditation and I'm going to do things out of body, I work from a baseline of a place that looks like the salt flats, where it's very reflective, sky and ground look exactly the same. I, for lack of a better term, created that for myself. And you could do the same thing. You could, you got to pick a comfortable and familiar thing that you can perceive, something that you are very familiar with, a place that you are very familiar with, and you can go to the astral and make that for yourself. And then that could be the jumping off point from which you go to other places. Now, when exploring the astral plane, you got to think about that continuum again, astral to mental to physical, right? So we are perceiving things all the time. So when we're in the astral plane, we're perceiving things. Things will look to us differently than they look to other people because of our own perceptions, our associations with different things of symbolism. And when we pay attention to what we are seeing in the astral plane, we can really get a sense of what those different things that are there are like. When you are exploring the astral plane, you don't want to have expectations of what you are going to see because that's when you're kind of stepping into more of the mental plane side of things. And it's like you're creating a story rather than living it. I want you to think about it in this way. Think about if you went to a park that you had never been to before, you were not given a map or whatever, you were just told, you know, go nuts, explore, have fun. Whatever's around the corners, whatever's through that thicket of trees, whatever it is, don't expect something to be there. Just let your visions and what you see play themselves out. Because if we start to have expectations, then we are starting to create that world around us. It is very, very easy to start creating stuff in the astral because there's no barrier between the intent and the happening. Now, as a side note, the gatewalking process of the Simon Necronomicon does require astral travel, where you leave your body behind and go to other planes of existence when you go and visit the planes of the Zonai. So, being able to astral travel or just visit the astral is a requirement for the gatewalking, but this just kind of gives you an idea of what the astral is used for in one particular system. And one piece of advice that I have for you, when you meditate, some people meditate sitting up, some people meditate, with their legs crisscrossed or whatever. If you're going to go into the astral plane, at least what works for me and might not work for you, so, give it a shot or whatever, is laying down. You're leaving your body behind and you're going elsewhere. The bed is basically a shelf for your body when you're not using it. So you're not using it, so lay down. You can have some music and stuff in the background if that helps you concentrate, but honestly, astral travel is best done when it is silent, in my opinion, because you are going to be able to perceive more in terms of the sounds that you could hear, even that you're picking up in that plane of existence when there is less music. Although I do like to use music, I tend to think that not using music would actually be more beneficial. But when I fall out of practice with it, music does help to kind of focus the mind. Now, when you are laying down and your intent is to go elsewhere, remember the idea of picturing that one place that you can land. Like with me, it's those salt flats. And when you are laying down, you are forgetting your physical body is even exists, for lack of a better term. But you're laying there and all you're doing is focusing on that vision and seeing what you can see and what you can feel and what you can sense. And you'll feel your body even get tingly and then get heavy, and then eventually you'll just lose all sense of it when you're exploring that landing place. Let's say, like, for me it's the salt flats, and then you can just use your will and your desire to go around and explore. If you decide to go to some place different, just think of that place, and with time, you think of a place and you think of the scenery, boom, you're from point A to point B. All of this takes practice. So this is a little bit on the astral plane. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Request any other videos down in the comments or through my email. Good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.